Hey guys, it's your own boy, the one only Great Dane, back with the results for the star drops that I got during the Gruesome Gus challenge in Brawl Stars. Again, it just would have been inconvenient to have the recording in the background while I'm playing for a win-loss, because we just haven't had a challenge like this in such a long time. I really wanted to see how well I could do. Again, I did play with randoms, so that definitely had its effect, and I'll show you guys how in a second, but generally 25 power points, 50 coins, 50 power points, 100 coins. Got a pretty nice fat 500 bling drop there. 100 XP doublers, bling, coins, power points, power points, doublers, power points. Another nice 500 bling, so I got at least 1,000 bling from this challenge. A little bit more. Some more XP doublers, power points, coins, XP doublers, the skin for winning the challenge, obviously. And then, again, it just pulled up the skin first, and then it showed the last 4 star drops. That's why the order's a little wacky there, but it's got some more coins and XP doublers. So again, since there's about 3 days left, I might as well give you guys some tips and, again, what generally happened with me during this challenge. So, as you guys can see, I did end up having to buy in at least one time. Again, and so, essentially, I have 21 gems here. And as you guys know, I had 0 gems, so what was interesting is I went to buy the cheapest gem pack I could just for the buy-in. And the standard is $2 for 30 gems, and there's also a promotional 4 times points Google Play points thing I had. And for some reason, going in between that to turn it on and then go back to the offer, I have no idea why it glitched out or something, but when I bought the offer, it was $2 for 30 gems. For some reason, it only went through as 95 cents, so I actually got it for about half off, and I have no idea why. So what I essentially got for comparison is in this gem and coin chain, I essentially got this second offer the 2 times, but it was cut in half. I got 30 gems for about $1 instead. So again, I have no idea why it happens, but I consider myself lucky that I didn't have to spend $2. But anyway, how do you guys actually want to play through this? So what I did for gem grab is I played Kenji just so I could run up the left bush and then assault the players back so my team could grab gems. Again, with randoms, I actually ended up being the gem carrier too, even after annihilating the entire other team. Again, Kenji's just really broken if you keep cycling super on the enemy team, so that wasn't too bad. If you already have someone playing Kenji, I'd highly recommend Rico to cover off those bushes, or even a Jean, or perhaps a Leon would be nice. Again, you can sneak up on the gem carrier, possibly get away really quick with the gems. And then you're definitely probably going to want to have some type of ranged brawler, like Colt, could cover the bushes pretty well, or Brock. Just some kind of ranged. Again, it is quite an open map, so Kenji might be a surprise for you guys to hear me choosing him over any of those other ones. Again, even while I was playing Kenji, I was thinking, why didn't I pick Rico, right? Because he's ranged and he can really cover those bushes well and pretty much completely stop the enemy from using them at all because of his bouncy balls. Again, for bounty, we have the hideout map. I opted to go with, let me see if I can remember here. I went with Mo because he can just hit corners absurdly well. And, I mean, that's pretty much my only reasoning. Again, his super is really nice too, because you're mostly going to be playing against these glass cannon long-range brawlers like Piper. Mo just drills up to him and murders them in 2 seconds with his super, so that was incredibly effective. Again, we were playing against a Frank, I think, at one point. You get some weird choices in here with the randoms. I don't think people know how to make some good brawler choices in here. But Again, generally you're just going to want ranged brawlers, possibly an artillery to cut off those middle bushes. But, if you're worried about accuracy, I would highly suggest choosing Leon or Jean. Again, just because it's not too hard to hit the shots with those, and you can make some good plays, especially Jean is always a feared brawler in Bounty or Knockout, because if he pulls in the enemy to your side, you can just clobber him. So I should also mention, I got a loss on about every map, because I have 4 losses, there's 4 maps. I only lost twice on Heist Safe Zone, just because, again, my teammates were just choosing terrible brawlers. It just didn't make any sense. And they're basically, halfway through the match, they also just seemed to stop trying for some reason. I don't know, they just got like a Shelly spinning in a circle or something. Again, so the easiest choice for me for Heist Safe Zone is, almost any heist map. This one particularly, though, I'd say is really good for Chuck. And I'd use the 3-post star power, or rather, I would use the star power that steals half the ammo rather than the 4 posts, because I don't think you need 4 posts, and it actually slows you down from dealing safe damage. By the time you've gotten your 4th one down, you could already be attacking their safe. So, again, I wish Chuck had a better gadget, because here going through walls isn't really going to do anything, and hopefully you got all your posts down correctly the first time, so you're not going to need rerouting. But again, Chuck is just absurdly good for getting over to the safe to do damage pretty much no matter what, unless the entire team, enemy team, is just sitting there waiting to kill him. I know Cordelius is a pretty common counter. But the one thing I would highly suggest if you do plan on playing Chuck is to even pull up the map in a friendly battle and just learn where to place all the poles, because generally what you can do is in friendly battles you'll go up, place your first pole on the enemy safe and then line them back to see how far you can go and to get maximum range. So for me, what I found out is right about here by the first 2 green lakes on the allies side, you just place the pole a little bit under the pink barrels, and then that should be enough to reach to the enemy side. Again, that's assuming you're using the 3 poles. You could use 4, I just don't think you should. In fact, it's very rare that I think the 4 poles is actually going to be better than 3, just because stealing ammo, because again, unless they're playing Eve or Angela, which I'm surprised I didn't see at all, I'd actually suggest playing one of those 2 as well in your trio if you have a comp, just so you can get that advantage of not having to run in a straight line to the safe or go in that weird U shape around the side, because that makes it very difficult. So this is definitely one of those maps that's going to really give way to brawlers that are long ranged. So you got your Brocks, your Colts. I think Jesse and sometimes Nita can be really good here. If you're playing against a really good team, you're probably not going to be able to do all that much with Nita, though. Especially if they have someone that can blow up the barrels and stumps here. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend Nita. I think Jesse would probably be a better choice. But you can do work with Nita. It's just a lot harder considering how open the map is. I suppose Belle would also be a nice choice, but I'd probably pick Jesse before I would pick Belle. And then lastly, Knockout. This one I'd say opens up a lot more choices here, but again, if you go with the vision gear on Jean or on Leon, you're going to have a really nice time just making sure the enemy can't hide on their side of the bushes. Then you can utilize again both the Jean, or is the Eve and Angelo for the watered side, just so you're not all clumping together, is nice. And then just some other ranged brawler, again, Piper, Brock, Colt. Shouldn't be anything too crazy. Again, you can mess around here a little bit too. Maybe if you don't want to pick Jean or Leon, maybe you could even. I saw someone attempting to use Tick, but that was one of the matches where I lost because the Tick just wasn't very good, I guess. He just wasn't throwing close enough to the bushes to actually hit anyone, and once they started chasing after him, he was throwing behind him. So yeah, again, there's a fair amount of choices here, but again, to recap, and with Kenji for last stop, Hideout, I used Mo. Safe Zone, I used Chuck. Knockout, out in the open, I used Gene. And I went with his damage star power just because I want to be weary. Hit again, I don't remember what it's called, but essentially his super does like an extra 2,000 damage. I wanted to be weary in case anyone was playing Bell or Jesse, because the damage that they're dealing is probably worse than the healing you could actually get from the Gene star power, and I hate having to stand next to my teammates. It's very awkward, so the damage one actually I think did help me win one of the games as well, just being able to make a comeback. But again, randoms just aren't that great, so again, hopefully you can sort of use this as a guide. That's what I did. Again, take it with a grain of salt considering I have 5 losses, and I did use one 9-gem buy-in, but again, I thought it was a pretty neat challenge. I'm surprised that it was worth 30 star drops instead of 12. Again, maybe I just didn't see the numbers on the bottom before, maybe it was glitched out. Again, I can always just look back in a previous video, maybe I just didn't realize. But it's a lot of good rewards here. Again, some might be better than others, of course, because star drops are random, but nonetheless, getting the skin for 9 gems is certainly a deal in conclusion with all of these star drops as an addition. So, again, let me know if you guys ended up getting anything really good from the Gruesome Gus challenge. I didn't get anything too crazy besides the skin, but the additional resources are certainly a nice touch. Again, remember you guys have until Halloween to finish up this challenge, so you still got plenty of time if you haven't yet, so don't freak out. But other than that, I will remind you guys in tomorrow's star drop opening that there's actually 30 star drops there, not 12, because I might have said 12 before, but again, I should be uploading this with all the other videos today, so yeah, let's see how far I can take this, guys.